What is up, everybody? I actually have a little story to share. I recorded this video the first time. It was 22 minutes and 39 seconds. I used the rear camera because I think it records a little bit better than the front one. I know it's more megapixels for sure, but as far as recording video, I think it's better. Anyway, I made the video, 23-minute long video, and no joke, when I lifted the camera up to like press the button and then set it up against the wall where it's leaning, it didn't focus the entire time, so I just looked blurry the entire time. So I'm going to record this video again. Can't make any promises as to it being 23 minutes again, but I'm going to record it again with the front camera so I know it's focusing, and we're just going to go through all of this again. So it's Friday, and I'm going to do these videos probably on Fridays, and then probably like Sunday nights after the football is done. I'm going to go over the college football predictions, my NFL predictions, and then World Series prediction. Now, I use these apps, and I didn't have the picks before, but the picks are already in there now, as far as like my NFL. Like, I use an app called NFL Rush Pick'em. It's just what I wanted to use for the video. I used it last year too. It gives you the teams, and you just click on the one you think will win, and it'll tell you your record at the end of the day. So, pretty cool, pretty fun. For some reason, it's only got a 2-star review out of 5. That's not good at all, but that's what it has. So anyway, I'm going to go over my NFL picks with you guys first using this NFL Rush Pick'em app. So the first game was the Jets and the Patriots. If I had to pick, I would have picked the Patriots. They've already won. It was a lot closer than it should have been, but they won. All right. Second game listed here. It was the last game on the list before, but like I said, I've used the app. So anyway, second game listed is the Falcons and the Ravens. And I am a Falcons fan. You can see the Falcons banner back there. The Colts banner is up here for when they had Bob Sanders. I love Bob Sanders, therefore I love the Colts for some reason. So anyway, that needs to be taken down. I'm not a Colts fan now. But anyway, as much as I want to pull for the Falcons here, as much as I want to tell you that they'll win, they're not going to. They're 0-3 on the road. The Ravens have only allowed 3 touchdowns while on their home field. The offense is too good. Joe Flacco obliterated the Buccaneers, and I know that the Falcons blew out the Buccaneers, but all in all, Falcons are just as bad. Their offense is better than Tampa Bay's, and that's the one thing saving them. But the defense is no different. It's not a pro-level defense. So even if they lock Torrey Smith down, they're not locking down Steve Smith. Steve Smith played in the NFC South his entire career. I'm sure he's burned the Falcons plenty of times. So I'm going with the Ravens. Matt Ryan probably going to throw a couple interceptions. I know for damn sure he is not starting my fantasy because he did last week and did nearly nothing. Second game is the Vikings and the Bills. A lot of people are picking the Vikings in this matchup. It's 72-28. Teddy Bridgewater, yeah, he burned the Falcons, but like I just said, that's not a pro-level defense. He burned the Falcons. He missed the game against the Packers. Now he's coming back, or he came back against the Lions, got picked off 3 times, and they lost, and now they're playing the Bills. Teddy Bridgewater, yeah, he carved up the Falcons, but if you look at the Falcons' defense, which is ranked 31st overall in the NFL, I don't know who was 32nd, maybe the Jaguars or something, I don't know, but it should be the Falcons. And I feel sorry for whoever's having to watch the worst defense, because I know I feel pretty bad watching 31st. I'm picking the Bills to win this game. Kyle Lorton has put us some gaudy numbers, and he's kept them in games, and I believe he's already won them a game. So I'm going with the Bills in this one. I'm going against everybody, and they have home field. Teddy Bridgewater, he got picked off 3 times against a good defense, so, you know, I'm going with the Bills. I do not think the Vikings win this game. All right, my pick for the Dolphins and the Bears. Dolphins have a much better defense than the Falcons do. They have Brent Grimes. Brent Grimes was one of my favorite corners on the Falcons, but of course, they let all their good talent go. So Brent Grimes is gone, Dakoud is gone, John Abraham's been gone. So they have a better defense, but I'm picking the Bears to win this game. Jay Cutler. It depends on what Jay Cutler shows up, but with Alshon Jeffrey and Brandon Marshall and even Martellus Bennett now and Matt Forte, it's kind of hard to go wrong on the offense right now for the Bears. And they have home field. And the defense, they played a little bit better. I can't promise that Kyle Fuller's going to lock down Mike Wallace because of the speed difference, but Kyle Fuller's going to lock somebody down over the course of that game. It'll probably be Brian Hartline, and they're going to keep Tim Jennings on Mike Wallace. But they play a lot of zone anyway. So I'm going with the Bears. Next matchup, an intriguing one, is the Saints and the Lions. Now, the Saints haven't been that good this year. The Lions have been very good this year. They're ranked number 1 in a lot of defensive categories, and the Saints are coming off a bye week. Now, I don't think the Lions are going to have Calvin Johnson, but I do know they're going to have Reggie Bush back. Whatever difference he's going to make, don't really know. For him, it's like 1 or 2 plays a game. If he gets those 1 or 2 breakout plays a game, then he'll score a touchdown for you. But if it comes down to him just getting little dinky passes and then trying to run between the tackles, he doesn't do a lot of damage. Surprisingly enough, even though the Lions have home field and the Saints haven't been that good this year, the picks for this game are 82 to 18%, 82% Saints. I'm going with the Saints too. I'm thinking maybe they come off the bye week. They're rested up. They've had time to work on things they've been doing wrong, and I think the Saints come back, and if they're going to get on a run during the NFL season, now is going to be the time they do it, even against the Lions. So if I had to pick somebody that I wanted to win, it would be the Lions, mainly because it's better for the Falcons in the NFC South if the Saints lose. But I don't think they're going to. I think the Saints win this game. The next game is the Panthers and the Packers. Panthers put up 37 points on a good Bengals defense. But, you know, the Bengals put up 37 points on their defense. Andy Dalton is not Aaron Rodgers, and Jordy Nelson is a better receiver than anybody the Bengals are putting on the field right now. I'm going to go with the Packers just because they have home field, they have Aaron Rodgers, and they have Jordy Nelson. Those right there, that's enough for me to believe the Packers are going to win this game, no matter how the defense plays. I think they'll win the game. Next game listed here is the Bengals and the Colts. It's an intriguing matchup because the Bengals are one of the better teams, and the Colts, they've won 4 straight since going 0-2. I picked the Colts to win this game. They have home field. They have Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is leading the league in touchdown passes, and it's not necessarily close. He's got 17. The next guy's got like 14, I think. And there's like a few guys tied for second with 14. But Andrew Luck is playing out of his mind. I think the Colts win that game. Even if it has to be high scoring, the Colts can score with anybody. Next one is the Browns and the Jaguars. And like I said in the first video, if you live in Cleveland and you live in Jacksonville, then maybe you care about this game, but this game probably isn't cared about too much. Brian Hoyer, he's playing really well. Their defense, it can be good at times. They can force it. I like their secondary. I like Pierre Desir and Gilbert, the 2 rookies they brought in, and everybody knows what Joe Hayden can do. And they have, you know, Dante Whitner back there too. I'm picking the Browns to win this game simply because Jaguars haven't been that good, and maybe they're the ones with the worst defense in the league. I don't really know, or it might be the Raiders. I'm not sure. But I'm picking the Browns to win the game because of Brian Hoyer and his play right now. Blake Bortles, he'll play well, though. He's already had 1 or 2 300-yard games. He's going to play well. It's just going to take some more talent around him for them to start winning. The Seahawks and the Rams. In the first video, I gave a lecture about how the Seahawks are not where they were. They're just not. They're not the team that they were last year. You know, they probably took the league by storm because, you know, it's like, oh my God, somebody's actually playing defense in the NFL. Well, everybody knows what they're about now. And I know they haven't been giving Marshawn Lynch the ball enough, and they're probably going to do that a lot in this game. And I do pick the Seahawks to win this game, but people need to stop acting like the Seahawks are where they were last year simply because of what they did last year. They're not where they were last year. There were people coming into this season saying, oh man, I don't even know who's going to beat this team. This team is too good. This team is too well-rounded. I don't know who's going to beat them. Well, guess what? They've been beat twice already. And the record's 3-2. And one of those losses came at home, something that everybody said was just impossible. If there was anybody that picked the Cowboys to win last week's game, it was probably Stephen A. Smith, and that's only because he's a Cowboys fan. But Seahawks are going to win this game, but they're not where they were. They're not where they were. Look out for the Cardinals in that division. They're playing some great defense right now. Next pick, Redskins and the Titans. RG3 practiced this week. They're not going to get him back this week. I don't know if the Titans have Locker back yet, but even if they do, Redskins can score. Kirk Cousins, if he's not throwing interceptions, he's throwing touchdowns, and he's throwing like 300 yards. Like they can score, and I think they'll win this game because of that. The next game is the Chiefs and the Chargers, and I'm actually going against the population on this one too because it's 55-45 Chiefs based on how other people have picked this game. I'm picking the Chargers. They're 5-1 for a reason. They're good. I like their defense. Even though they didn't play too well against the Raiders, I think they played well as a unit over the entire year. I'm picking the Chargers to win that game. Phillip Rivers is just playing too good, and it's just too much offense. I think the Chargers win that game. The next one is the Giants and the Cowboys. If there are division games that I like watching, it is the NFC East. I believe that's what division they're in. Those division games are the best. Like last week, I loved that the Eagles and the Giants were on TV. Even though it was a shutout for the Giants, I did want the Eagles to win, but I still enjoyed watching the game. I'm picking the Cowboys. They're also 5-1 for a reason. They have a great formula to winning games, and DeMarco Murray is going to get hurt when you're too tentative about him getting hurt. You just need to keep handing him the ball. If he's not getting hurt, if he's getting used to that kind of punishment, carrying the ball that many times a game, keep giving it to him. He ain't hurt yet. Just give it to him while you can. And, he's shown that he can make it right now. Like, there's some guys in the league that won't even get 159 carries in a year. Now, I know they're like backups, but just keep giving them the ball. It's what's winning you games. So I'm going with the Cowboys in that one. And the Giants lost Victor Cruz. I don't. That's a big piece to replace. The next one, if you're picking the Raiders in this one, you might be a diehard fan. It's the Cardinals and the Raiders. I think the Cardinals got this game. Like I just said not that long ago, I just boosted the Cardinals up a little bit. Their defense is playing too well. And the Raiders, they haven't even won a game. So I'm going to pick the Cardinals in this one for sure. Next pick, Broncos and 49ers. 49ers, they're a good team, but Patrick Willis might not play, and Peyton Manning has thrown 3 touchdowns in 14 of 19 games while in Denver, while at home, and I don't think the 49ers can score like that, and I think the Broncos win this game for sure. Now, the last pick is the Steelers and the Texans. This game is about as close to a toss-up as any of these games get to me. This is the one that I can't really pick because you don't know what Steelers are going to show up. You don't know if the Steelers team that played the Panthers is going to show up or the Steelers team that played the Browns is going to show up. You don't know. So, I picked the Steelers to win the game, and I probably gave them that because of home field advantage. But the game is literally a toss-up. I have no idea who is going to win that game. So I'm picking the Steelers, but I don't really have an idea. I'm going to use the ESPN College Championship Drive app to pick the college games. Got to get past the advertisements. I'm only going to pick the top 25 games because there's a lot of games in college football. There are a lot of teams. Kansas State and Oklahoma. I heard a guy on ESPN say earlier that Kansas State was going to beat Oklahoma in this game while in Oklahoma, and he based it off of their performance against Auburn. Well, for one, they were in Kansas State against Auburn, and then we saw what happened to Auburn when they played the best in the SEC. They got beat. So I think Oklahoma has this game, and I'm not even saying it'll be all that close, because I think it could easily get out of hand for Kansas State with the defense that Oklahoma's putting on the field. Next game is Georgia and Arkansas. Georgia is not going to have Todd Gurley again. He's not even traveling with the team. And Arkansas has 3 running backs that are 2 or 3 steps below Todd Gurley, but they have 3 of those guys, like I said. And they're all different style of runners, too. It's as simple as this. If Georgia forces Brandon Allen to throw the ball, they'll win the game. But if it comes down to them not being able to stop the run and having to outscore Arkansas, I don't see it happening. If I had to pick a winner for this game, Arkansas doesn't even have an SEC win in like a season and a half, but I think this could be the first one for them. I'm going to pull for Georgia, and I hate to say they're going to lose, but, it depends on what defense shows up. And when it comes down to, oh, man, what defense is going to show up, then you probably deserve to get picked against. So I'm picking Arkansas for that game. I don't want them to win, but I'm going to pick them for that game, and they have home field too. The next game I'm going to go over, Texas A&M and Alabama. It's as simple as this. Texas A&M can't stop the run. Alabama runs the ball well. They play good defense. Texas A&M ain't going to score every single drive. I'm picking Alabama in that one. And they're in Alabama, so I'm picking Alabama for that one. Next one is Oklahoma State and TCU. TCU, they have a good defense. Baylor didn't show them that, didn't show anybody watching that they did or do, but they do have a good defense. Oklahoma State doesn't have an offense like Baylor does. TCU bounces back at home, and I think they win that game. Ole Miss and Tennessee, it's kind of significant because it's an SEC game, but it's one that I can go over quickly. It's going to be a blowout. I don't even know if Tennessee's going to be able to score, because right behind Mississippi State, Ole Miss plays defense too, and they play great defense. Ole Miss is going to win that game. Now, Stanford and Arizona State. Stanford, they're ranked lower and they're on the road, but they haven't allowed 20 points in any game this year. And Arizona State, they don't know what quarterback's going to be playing yet. I think Stanford wins the game, even though they're ranked lower and they're on the road. So I think Stanford wins that game. And the last one, save the best for last, Florida State and Notre Dame. Now, I want Notre Dame to win this game. I want them to win this game really bad. And now it's not even because I don't want Florida State to be number 1 anymore, because they're not number 1 anymore. It's just, I hate Jameis Winston. And if anybody views this video, chances are you probably dislike him too. Unless you're viewing this and you're a Florida State fan, you probably dislike him too. Now, if making a pick for the game, I'm picking Florida State to win, but I'm pulling against them with all I have. I want Notre Dame to win the game really bad, but they got to take the crowd out of it early, and once they do that, I think they'll win the game. But Jameis Winston, he's never even lost a collegiate game, so chances aren't looking too good. All right, now on to the final topic of discussion. It's the World Series. It's pretty cool that both the wild card teams made it, the Giants and the Royals. The way the Royals just flew through the American League and swept, they swept the playoffs pretty much. That could either mean that the AL is way behind and not as good as the National League because of how closely contended those games were, or it could mean that the Royals are just, their defense has proven to just blow everybody away, and maybe they're just that much better than everybody else, or they're on fire at the right time and they're catching everybody else at the right time. I will say this though, I want the Royals to win the entire thing. I really do. I like Yordano Ventura, the pitcher for the Royals. I like Herrera, the reliever for the Royals, and I like Hosmer. I really like Hosmer. And Lorenzo Cain, with the catches he's been making, he's just really fun to watch. The Royals as a team are just really, really fun to watch. The Giants, I've never liked the Giants. I'm a Braves fan. Tim Hudson, he leaves the Braves, 16 years pro, goes to his first World Series when leaving the Braves. How about that, right? It's probably because he wasn't on the Braves anymore, because the Braves wouldn't have made it. So, congrats to him. Great move going to the Giants. Great move. Now, even though he's a former Brave and all that stuff, that doesn't give me enough to pull for the Giants. I don't like the Giants. I wanted the Cardinals. I wanted the Cardinals, but when you're down 3-1, it's hard to come back. So, the Giants, they probably got the starting pitching, so it's just going to come down to night by night for the Royals as far as starters go. Big game, James Shields. No. Okay, he's allowed like 4 runs every time he's pitched. Okay, yeah. You know, I'm not saying he's overrated because he obviously had to do great things to receive the nickname, but so far in this postseason, he ain't shown it. He hasn't shown it. Now, maybe the World Series is going to give him that extra little boost of adrenaline that he needs to, you know, pitch and keep up with Bumgarner, and I'm hoping for it, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I think the Royals, overall, they're going to turn the games into 6-inning games, and, you know, that's the thing. If the Giants hit like they were hitting against other National League teams, then they'll probably take this series, but, you know, with the Royals' defense, stuff like that, the diving catches, all that kind of stuff, if they can't score, then obviously if you can't score, the other team's going to win. So the Royals, if they turn the games into 6-inning games, then the Royals can probably take the series. I'm not saying they win Game 1, though. I don't really know. If they can beat Bumgarner with James Shields, who hasn't had the best postseason, if they can beat Bumgarner, they're taking it. Like, for real. I really believe they can sweep that too if they can beat Bumgarner, because he's been better than any other pitcher in the playoffs so far. So if they can beat Bumgarner, they can take it. I think even if they lose Game 1, you know, they might end up having to play Bumgarner twice because he might close out the World Series for him. But I think the Royals will win. I'm pulling for the Royals to win, and I'm hoping they do. But anyway, that's all I have for this video. It's a little bit on the longer side. So anyway, those are my predictions for the NFL, the big college games, and the World Series. If you disagree with some of my predictions, then comment below why you disagree, and maybe your point of view will make me have a change of heart, or something like that. So comment down below, give the video a like if you liked it, subscribe if you like the content. I know this video has nothing to do with cards, but I did say in the welcome to my channel video that it would be cards and sports, and you know, cards are sports cards, so in a way they kind of relate. Anyway, I don't think I missed anything. That's going to be it for this video. I'll probably be back at you Sunday with what I thought about everything, and that's all I got for you. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and there will be more content soon.